welcome to another episode of the Total R&B podcast. And today I'm super excited because I have somebody here from my hometown that I get to interview. She is a singer, she is a songwriter, she's also a pianist. She is, of course, from Montreal. So shout out to everybody from Laval because that's who we got in the building today. Her debut single, Congratulations, came out in 2022, and she's been killing it even before then online. So we're going to get into that. And she just recently signed to Atlantic Records. So welcome to the podcast, Alicia Creti.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. Thank you for taking time out of your day to sit with me for a little bit to talk. So I'm super excited to speak to you because it's not every day that I get to speak to someone from Montreal
Yeah,
who's made it to have like a record deal and, doing their thing with like, videos and all that stuff. So it's really exciting. So congratulations too on that as well.
thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Of course. So I always start off the podcast asking the same question each time. So what is or what comes to your mind when I say what is your first memory of R&B music?
Oh my God. Um, my first memory of R&B music, and
Yeah.
this is probably my first memory of falling in love with music in general, is on the highway in my mom's Honda, and she's blasting "Been Gone," Keisha Cole.
Oh, okay.
And that was the one that really did it for me. And I feel like it was also a moment that I was like, I'm seeing my mom in her element, just kind
Mhm.
of like driving and jamming. And it was something that brought us closer, even just me kind of looking up to her and being like, oh, this is sick. This is a great song. This is like the future me, essentially. And so
There you go.
I loved R&B ever since.
I love that. I love that it brings a memory of family. That's why I love asking that question too, because a lot of times it brings people back to a memory, a good time with usually a family member or like a friend that they grew up with. So that is so interesting. And it's Keisha Cole, so she, is one of the classics here in R&B music, putting out hits after hits after hits. So I love that. So then besides Keisha Cole, like what other artists were you listening to, growing up?
So growing up, I listened to a lot of Stevie Wonder, Usher, Rihanna. Rihanna was my first CD, Ponde Replay, that album
Okay.
on like Walkman, and I was obsessed. And Brandy, Christina Aguilera,
Mhm.
so many. And it was a lot of big voices. That's always what I was drawn to. And the urgency of the music, just feel good or gut wrenching.
And that's funny you say that because your music gives us those things, you have like a powerful voice, it's gut wrenching, you like basically kind of get like sucked into the songs, right? So I see that comparison. I see that influence in your music. So that's really cool that that's who you were listening to and then, the music that you're putting out too. And you're a songwriter. And it's funny that you said Stevie Wonder because I feel like Stevie's like one of like the best songwriters that we have. So when did you start writing music?
I started writing music when I was about 7,
Okay.
maybe 6 or 7. I wasn't even spelling things correctly. I didn't even know what I was writing about. Like the first song I ever wrote was structureless and super sassy. And I just remember like rushing to my mom and being like, hey, look what I wrote. I was just always creating as a kid. And that started with art and kind of just drawing. And I would kind of sing to myself subconsciously at
Hmm.
the same time, and it was very soothing for me and therapeutic. So just naturally started writing songs because that's what my inspirations were doing. And my mom kind of quickly put me in piano lessons after that.
Yeah, I was gonna ask because you have piano too. So is it something where she saw like your songwriting, whether it had structure or not, but you like, singing around the house? So she push you to be like in music to really like hone those skills and like support you in that way?
So I think with my family, it was always get your degree, finish school, get a 9 to 5. Um, I'm from a Italian family, so that mentality was really kind of pushed on me, but they always did support my music and it was always a passion of mine. But it's just kind of funny to think that my mom saw that I wrote this song and then put me in piano lessons because she had read an article that it makes you better at math. So she's like, okay, great. Like, we got both down. My kid's happy. She's doing something that she's passionate about and she'll be better in school.
I
So
feel like parents are always like that. So even like for me, it was like dance. So my mom put me in all these dance classes, but
that's fire.
she
I
was
wish.
always like, "No, you have to go to university, you have to get your degree, yada yada
Yeah.
yada." So I totally feel that. So then doing all these things like taking the lessons, writing music on your own and singing, when did you like did you ever feel that you wanted to become an artist or when did you know that this is what I'm going to do?
I think that I always had music to rely on as the one thing that I was in control of, the one thing that I felt like was truly, truly mine. So I always did that as a passion, but I never really felt empowered to pursue this professionally because I didn't see a way there. I saw a clear way to that 9 to 5, and I studied finance, and I have that background, but
Yeah.
I didn't I didn't really see how I can get here. And because of that, I never really tried until 2020. I remember being in the library just studying with my friend for finals. And it was like December 2020, right before the pandemic. And she kind of like sat me down and we had like a little pep talk as we were scrolling on TikTok, taking a break, telling me anyone can go viral, just post, you should really do it. And I did that. And that was kind of the push that I needed to be able to pursue this professionally and actually think that this is something that I should do because I just never believed in myself, sadly, honestly.
But I think that happens to a lot of artists, You're good, but there's always that self-doubt or, that
Yes.
imposter syndrome that rolls in. And then I think too, like here in Canada, it's a bit different because we don't have, like, especially in Montreal, we don't have a lot of artists who's made it and like done like really, really big things. I mean, we have like Celine Dion and then we have Drake and stuff. So you start to close see it, but in Montreal itself, you don't always see people, crossing over into mainstream. There's no
Yeah,
kind of, like, clear blueprint for us to follow, I would say.
that's it. And that's kind of why I felt stuck, but always had this vivid image of me every time I would kind of like look into the future. It was two of them. It was graduating and getting that diploma and myself at like the Bell Center, on
Okay.
that big stage, just in front of a huge audience. And I kind of always felt like that was the place where I could really be me because music has just always felt so inherently part of my personality and just who I am and how I express myself and my outlet. But yeah, like you said, didn't really know how to get there and I remember kind of digging and I remember being like on Instagram, kind of doing like a deep stalk, trying to get to like any producers that I could find, anybody doing music in the city, trying to collaborate because I was kind of getting just sick of me and the piano. I wanted to work with other people. And yeah, it was a very interesting journey here.
Well, shout out to the friend that pushed you to, put those videos out because you got a lot of great feedback from not only just fans, but also, like, artists, celebrities too. So how was that to actually, have people that you don't even know tell you how much they love your music or your voice?
It was the most surreal, just overwhelming amount of love that I was not really used to, but it felt like a dream come true. I just couldn't really believe that. And yeah, to have that recognition from so many people that I've looked up to over the years was really inspiring and motivates me to keep going. And I've always kind of written to connect with people, and it's always been to heal myself, but if I can do that for one more person, I'll be happy. So kind of seeing that outreach and seeing that that could be a real possibility was so just surreal.
But I
Yeah.
think that's also too like the magic of music because
Yes.
you put yourself out there, you're doing these things and people are moved, they're touched by it, it helps them. And then probably getting that information, it helps you too. Especially
Yeah.
when it comes to like confidence as well. Like, okay, I could do this. Like people are actually, rooting for me. So I think that is amazing. And I'm happy you went forward and you put yourself out there like that because I know that stuff cannot be easy.
No, it was a lot mentally to keep doing that. I feel like I've always shrunk in my life and have been a people pleaser and had, some family responsibilities that just always had me thinking of everybody else, and I ended up feeling ultimately unhappy with my life, and um I just I'm grateful that it kind of turned out this way. And yeah, it was difficult, but I think that good things in life are difficult and growth is uncomfortable, so you just got to kind of keep going.
No, but I love that you said that because that is so true. I think when you actually like go outside of your comfort zone, you're rewarded for that. I
Yeah.
feel like that happens a lot.
And we never think it. And then we're there, we're like, "Oh, why didn't I just do that? Like why was I stressed?"
Exactly, but everything in its own time too, right?
Yeah.
So everything happened when it was, I guess, supposed to happen so that even though the road wasn't easy, as you mentioned, I guess those things, help build you up and you'll probably reflect on it later, maybe, your first show at the Bell Center and be like, okay, I understand why everything happened this way.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
So I want to know because you said you were doing a deep dive, you were trying to find people to, collaborate with and stuff, and it's never easy. And you also have to watch what people's intentions are and different things like that. But you had found your manager.
Yes.
So let us know how you two connected because I when I speak to a lot of artists here in Canada, that's something that quite a few people struggle with is trying to find the right people on their team. So you found someone, and so I want to know that story so that could potentially help someone else.
Yes. So I had first started posting a few covers on TikTok, and I had posted a duet of Session 32. And that is a cover that went viral that got me connected to my manager. She kind of just slid into the DMs on Instagram, and we started working together virtually. I took a meeting with her over FaceTime, and I can kind of just see that she was genuine and had a plan, and she's been my ride or die ever since. I'm super grateful to have her around and supporting me. Um, I think it's really about kind of getting yourself out there to be found and keep doing you. Just keep moving until people are, going to back that, because you do want it to be something that's in your control and authentic to who you are. So you just got to keep going.
And was there any worry because your manager, she's not from Montreal. So, like you said, you guys were working together initially virtually. So, was there any worry because you guys weren't in the same location, or she just made it so like effortless and easy that it was nothing?
I definitely, it's funny because I'm just naturally a very anxious person.
Okay.
And the second that this started happening, I was like, okay, I can't share any of my original music because someone's gonna steal it. And that was like my first first worry. And I remember taking a meeting with her and her being like, "Do you have any demos?" Which I had none. I had never been in the studio. I had all of my songs in like my voice memo app on my phone. And I remember being like, "No." And then she was like, "Well, can you send me anything?" And I'm like, "No, I can't. I'm gonna play it for you live." on Zoom. So I played her congratulations on the piano on Zoom
Wow.
because of that fear. Um, so I think that it is probably wise to be careful, but you do have to take a leap of faith
Mhm.
to move forward. So I think as long as you're cautious, you're okay. You gotta
Yeah.
use your gut.
But I mean, it makes sense because you read all those, like, crazy stories,
Yes.
so then don't worry, I'm one of those people that stay up all night and watch, like, what's it called? Like, Law& and Order and all those different
Yeah.
shows, so I could be paranoid at times too,
I'm
but
like, worst case scenario, boom. Nope. Can't happen. Not
exactly.
today.
Exactly, you never know, but it's such a great thing to see that you know, met up with someone who you can trust, who, like you said, had a plan and was able to, you know, work with you and then bring you all the way to where you are today, and, like, you know, your career keeps rising and rising, so that's amazing. It really is. And I wanted to talk a bit about our lovely hometown of Montreal because that's where you grew up. Um, a lot of people are familiar with Montreal, like they know that we speak French and they think it's like the coolest thing and all those stuff. But
I
tell
do.
tell the listeners, because I have listeners that are not from Canada, what is it like, or what was it like growing up in Montreal?
Um, yeah. I actually just got back
Oh,
and
okay.
did like we just did like a deep dive, and I think that it's such a beautiful city that maybe when I was there, I even took for granted now moving away in terms of the accessibility, the architecture, the art, the live music, the food. It is such a culturally rich city, and I love that about it so much. I've met so many different people throughout my life, and I am so grateful for that. I love to travel, so I'm always kind of like looking to discover, and I feel like you have a little world
Yeah.
in Montreal, which is amazing. I grew up in the
Ooh.
suburbs, but I always went to school kind of in the city starting in high school. And I think that my years in CEGEP and university were the ones that taught me the most about myself because it was kind of just me on my own and commuting and kind of setting my own goals and seeing whether or not I'd reach them essentially, and taught me a lot of discipline. But it's just the most beautiful city, I think.
So if you had to suggest, for someone who's never been to Montreal, they're going for the first time, where would you suggest that they go? What are, like, 2 places you have to go to?
Oh my gosh. Okay.
I know it's a lot of pressure.
So much pressure. um, I'm thinking of a restaurant for sure because you got to eat.
Yes. Yeah.
Um, my favorite restaurant ever, all throughout university, that I had like once a week is Ganadara.
Okay, yeah, that's a good
Great
one.
food, amazing. Was family run, I believe, and now has expanded to like a chain. But definitely got to go there. Great food, great ambiance,
Mhm.
and probably old Montreal because of the architecture and
Yeah.
just the little coffee shops. And it's just the best place to kind of walk around, and you can go there with no agenda and you'll always kind of run into something going on and have a good time. So I have so many memories with friends and please dates, working, all
Yeah.
kinds of memories from that area. So
Yeah, no, those are 2 good options. That restaurant is, like, super good, so if you are in Montreal, definitely check it out, and Old Montreal is, like, a given, like, you have to go there. I always tell people to, like, come in, like, the summertime.
yes, yes. I was gonna say the entire time that I was speaking, it was summer. It was hot. There was no snow.
Yeah, I always tell I'm like, "Yeah, my city, it's so much fun, but only in the summertime. Don't
Yeah,
try it in the winter." Well, unless you're the type of person that likes snow and a lot of wind,
that's
but,
not me.
yeah, no,
It wouldn't be me.
no. Me either. I hibernate. I stay inside the house.
Yeah.
That's how it is. But you don't really have to worry about that anymore because you made the move to LA.
Yes.
So, how was that?
So I made the move about 8 months ago now, and it has been a huge change, like all the way down to the terrain, literally, like you said, all the way down to the air, the
Yeah.
air that I'm breathing. It's actually affected my vocal health,
Oh,
which
wow.
is so, it's just crazy how all of these little things that you never really considered affect you vocally, which
So
has
wait,
been
what do
something
you
that
have to do then to take care of your vocals?
a lot of steaming, a
Okay.
lot of humidifying, proper warm ups. I actually recently got deviated septum and sinus surgery.
Oh,
And
wow.
I feel like these, look, I always thought that, hey, like, doesn't everybody breathe like this? I never
Mhm.
really considered it until I started really singing every day and being in sessions and doing shows. And I was just singing a lot more than I ever have and started to lose my voice. And yeah, it came down to, you know, the quality of the air does that, which is crazy. I just never really considered it. But it's
That's
been a
crazy
big,
to me because there's so many singers living in Los Angeles. That's
yes.
so wild. But yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
continue.
You just gotta, it's like prevention is key. You have
Mhm.
to always just take care of it. Steaming, teas, honeys, throat sprays, warm ups,
The whole thing.
everything.
Wow.
But it's been a big change, but in a good way. It's kind of like what I said earlier, that growth is uncomfortable. There's a lot about it that's been difficult. I moved here alone, and I've been away from my family and particularly my brother, and that's been difficult. But I'm on a journey of self discovery. I love what I do every day, and I make it a point to go home the most that I can. So, balance.
But yeah, no, that is it is brave to like pack up and go somewhere else with just yourself. Like you're not going with a family member, it's just you. So that has to be the hardest thing. So I know for me, like I haven't moved anywhere yet, but I know because I'm close to my family, it would be such a big change to not see them every day or like whenever I want.
Yeah, even as I was saying earlier, just kind of never really put myself first. And I feel like this is the first time in my life that I'm doing that.
Mhm.
And like you said, even though I have moved away and it was difficult for my brother to understand, he's autistic, so it was something that really disrupted his daily routine, like me not being in the house anymore, and I'm like his best friend. So, but even now I think that it was even important for him in his own way to, he's an adult now, he's 22, and it's also helped him find his own independence, and it's brought me and my family so much closer. So it is beautiful in a way.
No, that's amazing. That is really good because there's 2 things that are happening, like, you on your journey of self-discovery while, you grow your career too is really important, and also to have, I guess, more independence, like, you're kind of on your own, you have to figure it out on your own, which could be, like, an amazing thing, and then, like you said, with your brother, him on his end growing his independence too. So
Yeah,
I know it's scary, but it's also probably beautiful to see him evolve as well. So that's amazing. And I'm guessing you guys, like, talk all the time then.
yeah. FaceTime, the beauty of FaceTime.
And what does he say about, like, your career now that you have, like, music videos and stuff like that?
Yeah, so I think I always say that my brother Luca keeps me humble because he does not care.
Oh, no.
But so I thought until recently. I was just in Montreal and we did a little pop up show right in front of the Basilica of Notre
Mhm.
Dame. And he came and I felt so touched by his reaction. Like he gave me a reaction that, and he's very unpredictable. So it's, I didn't really expect this because of what I just said. In the
Yeah.
past, like I'm trying to explain, like showing him videos. I'm like, look, like, see, this is what's going on. And him being like, cool, we're going to hang out now. Like, like just kind of, and I'm like, okay, sick. And him being so supportive and say like he just kind of like shouted out like you're my favorite singer ever, things like
Oh,
this, or like he kind of now he tells me like you're a singer girl now. So he's kind of coming around, and that was incredible to see because with FaceTime that's not really something that I can keep him on the phone for long. Like our relationship is very in person, it's more physical, it's not like to keep that conversation going. That's not what he wants to do, you know what I
yeah.
mean? More like activity based. So on FaceTime I can't really get him on the phone, I have to go and see him, so I always make it a point to do that. But yeah, it was so nice, honestly.
Oh, that's amazing. That's beautiful. And I know too there's going to be so many more like amazing moments between you two as like you do more things and like he'll,
Yeah.
show more interest into the,
You're
the
surprising me. Yeah, yeah, he's the best.
amazing. So I do want to get into your music because I don't know how. Oh yeah, it was on a streaming platform. I was just listening to music, and so the song comes on, "Strange," and I was immediately hooked. And then I had it on repeat for like a good hour. I had to listen to it over and over and over again. I was just like, "Oh my gosh!" And then I'm like, "Who is this girl?" Of course, I had to go to Google, and then I find out you're from Montreal, and I was like, super excited.
Damn,
Super,
appreciate
super.
you.
No, it's so amazing. I love that song. So everybody listening and watching, if you haven't listened to Strange, please go to, any streaming platform, or if you're more visual, get on YouTube, look at the video. The video is out there. She has a visualizer for that as well. So let us know about Strange. How did that song come together?
Yeah, so I that was it's a song that I kind of feel like is the story of my life, and is like the prelude to everything, and is kind of just like, okay, this is my pattern. I love hard. I give myself to probably the wrong people that end up taking advantage, and in the end when they leave I feel depleted and drained just to kind of jump right back into it. But today kind of feel like the outro is a mantra to myself and me showing up for myself in ways that I wished other people had done. Um, so the song has been very therapeutic to come together. I wrote it with my friend Joy. She is a dope songwriter and artist. And yeah, it just kind of came together really naturally, and was dope to collaborate with one of my friends. And yeah, just a special song to me for that reason. So
Yeah, no, it's an amazing song, and it's so relatable because I think a lot of people go through that and feel that way. So I think too that's why like when I was hearing it, not only do you have like an amazing voice, but also just the words of the song, I was just like, I feel this right here. So yeah,
yeah.
definitely, definitely great. And then also currently now you have Pity Party that's
Yes.
out. Um,
Yes.
so you gotta let us know about that and the video, because at one point I was like, with all this confetti, I'm like, "Is this getting in her mouth and her eye?"
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
So how did that go? Because that looked like it was a little difficult.
I'm telling you, I was finding glitter everywhere. Literally. We actually shot the congratulations music video in the bathtub after that. So the glitter had to go. Like immediately. It was like a 5 minute change of like seven people picking glitter out of everything. Me like shaking my hair trying to get it all out. But it's a song that is part of my debut EP that's going to be coming at the top of next year called Selfless that I'm super excited about. And we kind of filmed all these visualizers in like 3 days. And it was a crazy, crazy schedule to get everything done. So, yeah, got the glitter everywhere.
And that
literally everywhere.
and those are like the first videos because you've never done videos before then, right?
Yeah, these were the first ones that we filmed. So we've
Wow.
actually filmed all of these before Strange. Strange was done after.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so this EP has been like 2 years in the making, and I'm
Oh.
so excited to kind of roll it out just monthly, basically.
So, is there anything else we can expect from, Selfless that you could let us know? Because we know Strange, we know Pity Party. Is there anything else we can let us you can let us know, or do we have to wait till the top of the year?
Hmm. I I am in the middle of rolling it out.
Okay,
So if you see on YouTube, there's kind of an entry for each song
okay, yeah.
and a visual that goes with it, and they tell a story. So you kind of gotta stay tuned to see it all unveiled in the end. But I will be dropping new music kind of monthly
Oh,
until it comes.
that's
So
exciting.
yes, it
Okay.
is.
So we have to stay tuned because each month we're gonna get something new. So I'm excited about that because everything that I'm hearing so far, I love it. So definitely rooting for you, and I can't wait to hear what else is coming. And the debut EP, I'm definitely gonna have to, cop that too.
Thank you.
Um, so because this is just starting for you, I want to know kind of like who would you like to work with? I'm big on putting things out into the universe and manifesting. So, if you had like a wish list, who's someone you would like to work with? It could be an artist, it could be a producer, it could be a writer.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm thinking. I think writer and producer would absolutely love to work with Phineas.
Okay.
Super talented. I feel like is somebody that goes deep with you,
Mhm.
and that's always something that I strive for in sessions. Artists, I would love to work with Drake.
That
Love
would be
Drake.
amazing.
You already know. Um, and I need a third one. And Jasmine Sullivan.
Oh my gosh. That
Jasmine Sullivan, for
would
sure.
be everything.
She's inspired me so much, um, vocally and in her songwriting and how authentic she is. I feel all of her music so much and love how she can, change a song so many ways live and can feel brand new. So definitely Jasmine.
No, I'm here for that. So I'm here for all the collabs. So I'll be waiting for that as well. You heard it here first. I love that. And I also want to know too, because this has been happening, so fast from the time that you put out your music to getting signed to now coming out with your EP. And I'm sure there's going to be, a lot of shows that you're probably preparing for and different things like that. So far, what's the biggest lesson that you've learned that you can, give to, someone else that's coming up that's looking for their way to get into, the music business?
Yeah. Um, Truthfully, the greatest lesson has been to embrace your uniqueness
Mm.
and never let go of the person that you are, because it's so easy to be clouded by the noise and wanting to be accepted by people and feel influenced to change and maybe shrink or edit yourself. But the answer is always going to be within you, and you got to listen to yourself and you got to listen to your gut and move in ways that are authentic to you, so that at the end of the day you are happy, and when you make decisions it's like it's you that has to live with them at the end of the day. So
Exactly. Definitely. Here for all of that. Definitely. So, is there anything else that we need to look forward to, or what is it that we need to do to best support you?
Um, yeah, I mean, keep looking out for the songs coming and the EP and kind of what's unfolding. And I will be opening for Birdie for a few dates at the end of October.
Ooh, that's exciting.
You want to catch me live? And yeah,
Okay. Well, before I let you go, I just want to play a quick game.
yes,
So we are going to make Alicia your soundtrack. So I'm going to shoot out some moods, some vibes, and you're going to tell me what R&B song you would pick. All right? So the first one is, what is a song that always puts you in a good mood?
always puts me in a good mood. Break My
Mhm.
Soul, Beyonce.
Oh, okay, that's a good one. I like that. What's a song you would play to turn up to?
Counterfeit.
Okay. Okay, I like it.
Fire.
And also, don't be afraid to add in, your songs too. I have to tell people that.
Oh,
Sometimes they're like, "Oh, I don't wanna save myself." Yourself. Okay, what is a song you would play when you're in love?
Isn't She Lovely? Stevie Wonder.
Okay, that's a classic, I like that. What's a song you would play when going through a breakup?
Congratulations, me.
Another good one, definitely. Everybody has to check it out if you haven't heard it. What's a song you would play when you're getting ready to go out with friends?
Ooh, Nails, Saint Laurent.
All right, all right. What's a song you would play when working out?
Oh, I feel like it's also Nails, Saint
It could
Laurent.
be the same one.
Or Disguise, Omri.
Okay. What's a song more people should know about?
The Sound, Matt Ep, and Fosia. I don't
Okay.
even think it's on streaming platforms anymore, but
I was like, I
it
don't know
got
what.
me through a breakup.
Oh, okay.
Big time.
Okay, so I have to look that one up, definitely. What's a song that you would play that reminds you of summer?
One Dance, Drake.
No, that is a good one. That is a good one. And then lastly, what's a song you play during the Christmas holidays?
Ooh, Christmas Shoes.
Who's that by?
I don't even remember, which is
Oh.
horrible. But it's a deep cut of my dad's playlist.
Oh, okay. So,
So it's a sentimental one.
okay, we're gonna have to look that one up too. Christmas shoes. All right. So, thank you so much, Alicia, for spending some time with me today and telling us about your journey. Let the people know where they can find you online and how we can follow and, continue to support and look out for those new tracks that are coming out.
Yes, you can follow me everywhere, find me everywhere as Alicia Creti. Just easy and simple. All across all streaming platforms, socials. You know the vibes.
Perfect. Thank you again so much. Everybody that's listening and watching, this is the Total R&B podcast. I am your host, Lorena. And remember, this is a bi-weekly podcast. So we will be back in 2 weeks with a new interview.
Thank you so much for having me. This was so much fun.
Thank you.